You're watching Experience Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. To be continued. 3 little words that hold the secret to the next great story. 3 words that will thrill you, confound you, give life to new possibilities. Every variation of To Be Continued is a promise of adventure, a promise of excitement, a promise of unseen wonders and unexplored worlds. A promise that every issue you read makes you a part of a never-ending journey, and behind every page there will be an unopened door waiting for you. This story to be continued at your local comic book shop today. Visit comicshoplocator.com today.
Hey.
Hi, everyone.
Look, John grew hair.
I'll ask you again in a second.
So, John just texted right before the show, went out to his car. He's got a dead battery. Personally, I think he doesn't like you, Robbie. I think that's what's going on here.
Ouch.
I think he doesn't like you, Rex. I think that's really what's going on. In fact, he's been messaging me.
Jealous of your hair.
Well, you know, yeah, because look, I got a fresh cut this weekend too. Look at that.
You never walked me through that nomination part, dude. I can't nominate you if you don't walk me through that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's too many clicks, bro. I can't figure it out. So
all you got to do is just write my name in the category, Rex. That's really all you got to do. But okay.
Okay, but where do I write it?
Under the category for best hair, you just write Rockin Robbie. All
right, I'll try it again, bud.
Okay.
If you want to throw the link up or send it to Jay in the private chat, you know. So I can ask all of our friends here if they would nominate you for the best hair category, because that has a lot to do with, you know, doing a podcast.
Where's this vote again?
Oh, Amy wants to know too.
CBCawards.org is what it is. You can also nominate me for like best channel or best comic book review or lifetime achievement, but best hairs, I'm really.
But best hair is what he's looking for.
Yeah.
Okay. Lifetime achievement, hey, it's great, but the best hair, if he could win that, okay. Oh, Preston, that's on me, buddy. I'm sorry about that. You will get that tomorrow, buddy. I apologize, Preston. That's on me. Things have been absolutely crazy, and you've been watching the news. In Philadelphia, we had a big chunk of Route 95 cave in. You must have heard something about it. It's all over the news, national news.
I haven't heard anything about that. So not only did y'all have to... What?
It was on the Today Show. Are you kidding?
Bruh, do you think I watched the Today Show?
I do every morning.
You're not on Twitter or TikTok?
No, not really, no. No, I have a Twitter account.
He's on hairproducts.com. That's what he's doing. Gets up in the morning. What's new here?
Today I was on FOC all day. That's what I was doing today. Okay, so.
Well, a big chunk of a part of Route 95 that cuts through Northeast Philadelphia. It's elevated, right? So apparently, truck flipped over. A tanker truck blew up, set a fire.
Did it actually like flip? Or I just heard it was under the path.
I heard later it crashed into something and flipped on its side. Oh. That's what ignited the tanker. Ignite the tanker.
So it really was just a freak accident.
Yeah. Dude, every tinfoil. As soon as that happened, tinfoil hats started coming out all over social media, even on my Facebook page.
Just want to be sure.
Somebody on Facebook friends with, who I like a lot. Okay, Brad. I think we have some TMNT stuff, but I don't know if we have. Do we? I'm not sure, Brad.
See a lot of our regulars in chat. What's up, CJ? What's up, Preston? What's up, Stevie? What's up, Ronald?
Yeah, what's up, guys?
Everybody. Hope everyone's doing well.
Preston. So the air actually got better over the weekend. It kind of cleared up on Friday. We could see the sky. So we're not getting it because I guess the pattern, the weather pattern is not flowing this way. But so on social media and friends that I know and respected, the tinfoil hats come out. Oh, isn't it suspicious that somebody, parked the tanker under 95 and all this conspiracy stuff started to come out? Turned out, guy crashed, flipped over on side, ignited, and a big fire, right? The most amazing thing. So this happened yesterday, right? Yeah, today's Monday.
Early yesterday morning.
Yeah, early yesterday morning, and big fire. And they interviewed a guy who drove over it, said he felt a really big bump. So it was already beginning to
break down.
To buckle. Yeah. So it caused like a crack, which he said he drove over. And then when he finally got home, turned on the news and heard about this and figured out that he was driving over it moments before the whole thing collapsed. I mean, a whole section of it is gone.
Just again, no one died.
No one. Well, no, they did find somebody dead. It might have been the truck driver.
It might have been. Oh,
yeah.
Jesus.
Might have been the guy driving the truck.
I have to look at Twitter account. I'm like, I don't remember any of these updates.
So you got to get on Facebook, old man social media. We talk about that stuff endlessly. Okay, us old people, man, we're always about the news, collapsing bridges and all kinds of stuff like that. So don't know what the don't know what haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy, but I know what's happening in my town. So right like that. Look at that.
Oh, here's an article. Oh,
see, dead guy, right? See, I think it's a truck driver. So that's big news. In lieu of Ezra Miller, we have this.
People have not yet said if it was the truck driver,
but they're all assuming. There was nobody else around, and nobody drove off the bridges or off the over.
And at least one vehicle is still trapped.
Yeah, one vehicle is still trapped. I don't think there's anybody in it, but maybe there is. Who knows? So yeah, that's gonna mess up. I mean, you got to understand that's a major section, a major artery in Philadelphia. Like people go to get from the northern part of the city to get to work. Most people take 95, and around there is northeast Philadelphia, which is essentially kind of a residential area. So all those local roads are going to be choked for months.
Yeah,
we'll have to get
for
off
years.
Well, I don't think they'll play years. There's no way it can be years, man. It's just too big an artery. It's going to cost too many headaches. But yeah, so big news.
Construction takes forever.
Yeah, when they're filling a pothole. Okay, this is different. This is like a big section of I-95. They're not going to let it go on that long. People will be screaming. So, yeah, that's what's going on tonight or here. How about you? How's your weekend?
I had a great weekend. I went karaokeing on Saturday night with some friends. Had a great, grand old time. One of the best nights I've had in a long time. Okay. And then yesterday I went and got my hair did. And then ran some errands, and then had a successful Rockin Robbie live, and here I am today. So, and I'm getting ready for Heroes Con, which is this week. So, by the way, Rex, I'm not going to be able to do Friday's show because I'll be in Charlotte, North Carolina for Heroes Con. Cool. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be great. That's my favorite show.
Cool town. It's a very cool town as well.
Yeah, so it super is. And we got this nice Airbnb in an apartment in a building in downtown, just like a couple blocks away from the convention. Nice. Giant window overlooking the city. I'm really, really excited. I love that place.
Yeah. So, CJ, you are absolutely right. 95 is a main artery. And the big problem is that the only way around it for people traveling north and south, there is a parallel road on the New Jersey side. So 95, well, it becomes a New Jersey Turnpike, but there's also a parallel road to 95. So a lot of people are going to push that way to avoid that section of I-95 that runs through Philly, which is going to cause a lot of headaches around my area. So, but what are you going to do? So John, I have no idea what's going on with John. He was supposed to be here today. I don't think he's going to Charlotte, but you never know with John. I didn't know he was going to Austin. All of a sudden, I'm going to Austin. Okay. So, we all want to grow up and be John. Trust me.
Yeah, he messaged me. He's like, "Hey, man, are you in Austin?" I was like, "No, bruh, I'm working."
Yes, not all of us can just take off on a whim because we're permanently retired. It'd be nice. So what can you do, man? All right. So you know what? Oh, Amy wanted to get in. She kind of heard our discussion on Friday and said, "Oh, that must have been a great show, great topic." So maybe we'll circle back around and talk about that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that was a good one, right? All right. So to give everybody a kind of a heads up, this is what the discussion is going to lead to. Is well, I'll let Robbie do it. Robbie, what was your question of the day on Friday?
Well, the question of the day was, what is more important to comics, the writing or the art? And
so
me and Rex, me and Rex actually agreed, and until we disagreed.
Which I think took about 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, we had a good 10 minutes where we were on the same page, and then you said something, I was like, "What?" And then it just started. So
it was a great conversation. Then we had the green light, like a drag race.
Yeah.
So that is the question of the day. Feel free to jump in, guys, with whatever your opinions are. Is HeroCon usually held on Father's Day weekend? I don't know.
I think it usually is. It's usually the week. Yeah, usually it either is or it's the week right before or after. But every time I've gone, I think it's been on Father's Day weekend.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So we've got a boatload of cover sketches today. Nick is not in the office, so this might go off the rails. Wow.
We'll see.
What's with the sinister laugh anyway? What's up with that? All right, so here we go.
We'll see.
Dwayne's a pain. I like that.
Great art can't hide terrible storylines.
I like that. That's the way I was kind of leaning, Dwayne.
The style and substance argument, you know?
That would be my daughter. Hold on. I'm actually live streaming, dear. How are you?
Oh, hey, Dad.
Hey, Liv. Okay, is everything okay?
Yeah, just filling out job stuff.
You didn't drive off of I-95, right?
No.
Okay. Okay. Hey. All right. I'll call you after the stream.
All right,
okay. Hey, and everybody says hi. Okay.
Oh, hi, everybody.
All right. She says hi back.
Hi.
All right. Okay. I'll call you in a little bit. Bye.
I know I only met her for a hot second today, but she seems lovely.
Thank you. So she needed help with something today. So I said, just come to the office. All right. And we'll take care of it there. So she got to meet Amy and our buddy Mariano. So that was kind of cool. She got the co-workers because a lot of our office is still kind of working remotely. Actually, most of the editorial guys and those guys are working remotely. So really most of the day, Amy, the accounting people, Mariana, we're in the office. So
guys in the back. So we see each other every day. So it was kind of nice. She knows, I talk about work and I talk about Amy, obviously. So it was nice to kind of, for my daughter to also kind of see where I work. World collide. It's
whatever.
Whoa.
So she needs to wash her car, man. She parks on her tree by her apartment. It's all that crap. I'm looking at that.
I gotta wash my car. All that pollen. Blech.
It's making me crazy. Her car is just such a.
Thankfully, I live by a car wash. So.
Where Lyle is, even the rats find it too cold. The rats are fine as far as I know. Whatever. They're rats. Come on. Okay. The two little kitties she has, they're doing good. So I went up to see them the other day. So they're nice. Lyle, it was a real bad Tuesday, Wednesday of last week. Thursday was better, but still kind of bad. By Friday, it really cleared up a lot, and this weekend was nice. Yeah, you could see the sky; it was blue. I could see the clouds, which was the first time in like 3 days. So it's not bad, but I think, Lyle, it's because the weather pattern had shifted. So at least that's what Al Roker said. So the weather pattern has shifted, so we're not getting it. But I'm sure there are parts of the country that are getting it. Any 8-foot tall humanoid figures? I don't get it. Weird. But yeah, I know you guys are having a heck of a time out there. So obviously praying for everybody out there and thinking about it. But it is definitely better here. So all the snow and ice, Lyle says it's black from all the ash, I imagine. That's awful. That's awful. Hoping everybody's okay. I'm sure people have lost their homes and I'm sure people have lost their lives, for God's sakes. But hoping everybody in Canada is doing okay, hanging in there. All right, so let's get started. as always, we're going to start with Dynamite 10-pack reader set. 10 random Dynamite titles with a cover price of $3.99 or higher. And as always, we have the entire 10-book set for $5. 50 cents a copy. You can't go wrong there. All right. Then next up, the Return of Wolverine, number 1, CSA exclusive Virgin variant, dual signed by Charles Soule and Adi Granoff. Suggested retail of $59.99. It's the lowest we've ever had. We've got the one available for $29.99.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Granoff doesn't do a lot of shows or anything like that, right? That's a beautiful piece.
Correct.
I love the art there.
Yeah, and we're running amok because Nick's not coming to the office today, so we're Amy and I decided we're gonna run amok. It's gonna be anarchy, man, anarchy. The warehouse is gonna
If
be
it was
empty.
anarchy, we'd give like a bunch of stuff away.
All right, close your eyes, grab something from behind you, and we'll give it away. No,
Everybody, check under your seats right now.
okay, this ain't Oprah. Okay, you ain't getting a car. I'm telling you right now.
It's like that's some gum from 1973.
Let me see. So in weird says, are we talking about Godzilla? And weird, because I'm trying to read that real fast. No, Preston, we took the loose change. All right. So next up, we have Silver Surfer Rebirth, number 1. Dan Jurgens variant, signed by Dan Jurgens. Number 55 of 60 signed. It's just a retail $49.99. We have the one available for $19.68.
These are some awesome prices y'all have put together, y'all. People need to take advantage of this.
We're running amok.
I love it.
Oh, I didn't read about that. I'm going to have to look it up after the show. Really? Alien claims in Vegas.
We'll have to look into that.
Yeah, now that's something I'd be interested to read.
That's up my alley. So yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, that is, right? You want to take a second and grab your tinfoil hat, or you're afraid it's going to mess up your hair?
It would mess up my hair, and I'm not prepared for that. So
It's all that static electricity. All right. So next up, we have Venom number 21, Legacy number 186, signed in silver by Donnie Cates. Number 2 in the edition, suggested retail of $69.99, and we have the one available for $34.99.
it's a great chance at a decent price to get a Donnie Cates signature, because every con that he's been signed up for over the last few months, he's not been able to attend. So we hope Donnie's okay. But if you want a signature, this is a good place to get him.
Wow. Maybe, Jay. I don't know. Wow. Hopefully he's all right, man. Yeah, I hadn't heard anything about health issues, but
No, I don't think that. I think there's some personal issues that he's been dealing with. Thank you, Bizarro Fett. I appreciate that.
So please, if you have time, nominate Robbie for best hair category, please. Okay.
Please do.
All right. He needs it.
I need that validation in my life.
Lifetime achievement. Yeah, that'd be great. But the best hair, come on now.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we're really after.
All right. Next up, we got Future State Dark Detective number 2, signed by Joshua Williamson. Number 6 of 30. Suggested retail of $49.99, and we have it for $27.
Joshua Williamson, super cool dude. I've met him on the show, and I met him in Orlando this year. He's a great dude. This was a real fun book with some amazing Dan Mora artwork, and it's cool to get a signed copy.
So remember, topic of the day, what's more important, art or writing?
Or Robbie's hair.
Or Robbie's hair. I think we've gotten enough comments in the chat about your hair. Huh? Okay. I think that validation should last at least another half hour. Okay.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you. I'll just ride that wave.
Stevie B. Yeah, you know what? You have to recycle some. Believe it or not, we're doing more shows than we're doing signings right now. So believe it or not. So it's getting a little crazy. But yeah. So these are things that you probably have seen before. Summer reruns. I remember the days of summer reruns. No such thing. That's how you age yourself. And then on old man social media, I saw something else that made me feel really old. So they had a still shot of the Charmin commercial, and the old man who used to be the pitch man. If you remember my name, you are too old, was the meme. Do you remember the old man?
I don't think so. I remember the Maytag guy, but I don't
Jay,
know the guy.
Jay, don't give the answer away, dude.
Mr. Whipple?
Did you not read that subsection where it says that large man, I knew you'd know. But Jay, did you not read that part about employees cannot participate?
I remember that now. The whole don't squeeze the Charmin stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got to be old to really. It was scary. I almost immediately saw the man's face. I go, well, what do you mean? That's Mr. Whipple. And I'm like, oh my God. They just tricked me into this. Oh, Jay, employees cannot participate in guessing contests on the show. Okay? You have to withhold your answer. Read the fine print. All right. Which means Jay must be pretty old too. Just saying. Just for Men products.
No, I do not. No, I don't.
Yeah, but back in the old days, we didn't have Just for Men products. The only thing we had was Christ, I can't remember it. With that, I even know the catchy tune. Oh my God. All right, we'll come back to that. He was Priscilla Barnes' father, the actress from Three's Company. I did not know that, Ron. Really? Oh, that's interesting. I actually did not know that. All right, Ron, we've got a boatload of cover sketches for tonight. Some we've seen before, some new. So you know what? Let's hop to that next. What do you think?
Let's do it.
All right. So this one, brand new one, Hulk #1, signed with Wolverine versus Hulk cover sketch by Ken Hazer. And I guess versus is not really fair.
I like the eyeball there, man. That's the best part.
Yeah, that's my point. So it's not really versus. It's
I knew it was gonna get snatched in a second.
It's $69.99, Ron. Just so you know. I knew it too. When I pulled this one, I'm like, whoa, this is Calgon, take me away. Of course I remember it.
Ken doing some like Bisley kind of vibes with this one for me.
Huh? I said Ron's gonna jump on this, dude. This is not something we've seen before. It's a little dark and edgy from our buddy Ken. Did you ask him about this one? Or did you see this one?
No, I didn't. We didn't go over that in the interview.
Yeah, that one's the what? CJ, I don't know what you mean, bud. All I remember was the woman in the bathtub and saying Calgon, take me away, and background music.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Me neither.
So we're in a softball tournament, right? And one of the girls, we did really well. I'm very proud of my daughter's team. They did really well. We only gave up an average of 2 runs per game over 5 games. So that's we've been focused on defense. But the girls are excited, and she goes, dab me, right? And I'm like, what? She goes, dab. I go, kid, dab in my day meant VO5 hair cream that you used to put in your hair to slick it back. They used it to sell like toothpaste tubes of it. You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you?
No.
Brill cream. With you being so concerned about your hair, Alberto VO5 and Brill cream, of course.
I'm just going to tell you, man, I am concerned about my hair, so I don't use things like VO5. That's cheap.
Well, no, I think you would know the history of men's hair products. A little bit of the history of that, bud.
First hair product I ever used You remember from
I'm
the
pretty
90s,
sure
in the
it
90s
wasn't
where
that-
everybody would have the hair gel that would be like green or orange or blue. That was the first stuff I used that was terrible for your hair, actually.
No, dude, we used to all slick our hair back. I thought a little dab will do you was Bro Cream. I really did. You know, Aqua Velva was shaving. What do you call it? Not shaving cream, but aftershave.
Aftershave, yeah.
Which was essentially splashing alcohol on your face after you shaved and the pores were open. I don't even know. You know, it was like meant to cause severe pain. I'm not sure why you do it.
Well, the idea, right, was that like it would stop like irritation or something like that. Like
it would tighten up your pores, supposedly.
Yeah.
I remember, you know, but Dwayne, High Karate was kind of a Johnny come lately. So Dep hair gel, yes, OUG. There is such a thing. Also a Johnny come lately. Joe Susan. I remember that. All right. So next up, we have Spawn #1, 30th anniversary edition, signed with Batman, half Spawn cover sketch by our buddy Ken Hazer. It's just at retail of $89.99. We have this one for $69.99.
I like it, but look at the comparison of the collars there. Spawn's definitely got Batman outmatched.
The collars, you and the collars. Oh my god!
Hey, Spawn's all about the collars, skulls, chains, and collars.
He is, and you obsessed with capes.
Well, I like practical capes, real ones, not CG
as
ones.
Opposed to.
Yeah, like the Moon Knight show.
Oh, yeah, I know, dude. For whatever reason, that just flipped you off, man. That was just like your thing. Like, I can't believe it. They couldn't put a real cape. What's with the CGI cape? I remember when we were talking about Moon Knight.
I still wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat screaming that phrase out. So,
yes, Preston, it's always a contest, my friend. All right.
I'm surprised that Batman's got a small collar.
Oh my God. Maybe it's why he's so angry all the time. So, all right. Next up, we have Captain America #1, signed with Adam Warlock cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mary Ellen Nicieza. It's just a retail of $99.99. Probably cheapest we've ever done. Well, maybe not. But we've got this one at $39.99. Preston. All right. All right, next up. Oh, you know what? We got to take a break, don't we? My God, that went fast. All right, we're going to take our first break. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
Did you know that every Experience show, including some exclusive content, streams on Twitch? Check it out, twitch.tv/the_EXP. Or just scan that QR code. Do you remember what it was like when you were a little kid and you got a letter in the mail? Now imagine that letter was filled with information about your favorite shows, pop culture questions, links to things you're going to want to see later, and even sneak peeks at upcoming programming here on The Experience. That's what the EXP mailing list is. Every week, we send you sneak peeks, information, and all of the relevant links for all of the shows you want to see. Sign up now on our website or scan the QR code that's on your screen right now.
You just finished the last episode of your favorite new show, and you just have to talk about it. But all your friends are ghosting you because of that incident last week at the buffet. Oh, you know the one. What you did to that chowder. Ugh, keeps me up at night. So what do? Join writer Dan Wickline as he breaks down all your favorite pop culture media. Whether it's a review of the latest nerdy TV show or a dive back into the history of your favorite comic characters, Dan's ready to discuss all the hottest topics live. Join the conversation as Dan live streams Tuesday through Thursday at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. The Dan Wickline Show on The Experience, comic culture and sales.
All right, we're back. You can't do that, Robbie, with the internet problems we've been having. I don't know if we're on or not. CVB. Oh yeah. Steve, you're in your area, right? Yeah, that guy. We almost never talk about politics, but that guy, George Santos. I don't care which side of the fence you're on. That guy's just, man. That guy's crazy. That guy's a habitual liar. You can't stop himself, man. I don't know how he gets away with this. But, all right. Next up, connecting covers. This one I think we've had on before as well. But there have been multiples of this because I think we actually put it in previews as well. Superman #1 and Superior Spider-Man #27. Connecting sketch covers. Signed with Superman versus Spider-Man homage. I'm sure we all remember this.
Not this yet.
Yeah, I am too. By Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. It's just a retail of $199.99, and we have this one. I think this is the lowest price we've had it at, $100 for the
It
two
says
books.
75.
Oh, it does. Where?
It just said it.
Because Jay was on the wrong one. Sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I clearly saw 75. What's up with that?
Oh, CJ, I remember.
Oh, okay. 100. That's still not
Okay,
bad.
you got it. You got it, large man. It's yours, buddy.
It's a good pickup. That I love the coloring on that Spidey in particular with that pink highlight. I love that. It looks sharp. You never see that anymore.
All right, large man, if we flash 75, you're getting it at 75, buddy. All right.
And yeah, did y'all see Ron's claim where he wanted the Warlock?
Yeah, I got that one. So
Okay.
you're all good, Ron. I got you. All right, large man, since we put it up there, you got it, buddy. Jay, yeah, I got Ron, buddy, on the Warlock. You got it, buddy. All right. Next up, we've got the Mighty Thor #1, signed with Thor versus Kang cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. And we got this one for $50.
This is that special dance club, Club 54, Studio 54. It's Studio 54. Anyway, because of the lights, see, it looks like they're having a dance off, doesn't it? Am I the only one that thinks this looks like they're having a dance off?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
You know, Thor's got some nice hair, and I hear that
Large
Kang
man,
sounds
that's are you serious? That's super nice, buddy. I'm gonna make a note of that,
Lars.
bud.
Dance off, bro. Me and you.
Yeah, it's a dance off. That's the dance off cover. Come on. We all know it.
Okay, we'll call it the dance off cover. I'm with you.
Nice.
All right. This one is brand new. All right, so this one is
One second, I'm just gonna turn.
Okay. Captain America #695, signed with 3 characters: Hulk versus Captain America and Bucky, cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. And the detail on this one is unbelievable.
That's
So,
a
we have
Steranko
this one.
homage, right?
What's that?
That's a Steranko homage, isn't it?
I believe it is correct. So we have it for suggested retail is $199.99, and we have the one available for $120.
Nice. Stranko's going to be at Heroes Con again. He's always there, and he's such a character to see. Like, he's just so cool. He just oozes cool, you know? He's like a Hugh Hefner of comics almost in a way.
Which these days may not be such a good analogy.
Yeah, maybe that wasn't the best, but anyway.
Because Hugh was cool then, but now not so much.
Well, Steranko still wears them shades. He's always dressed to the nines. He's always got a young lady on his arm, and he's also very short. I don't know if anybody's ever seen Jim Steranko in person, but he's a very short person.
I am the me Hugh Hefners. I don't know. Actually, to be honest with you, Preston, I don't know what their intent is on that one.
That might be what's his name, right? The guy who became Nomad. Is that who that is in that era? Because this is
I don't know.
It's a reference to a Silver Age cover, so I don't know. Steranko does have some nice hair, actually, and I wonder what he smells like. I'm gonna have to try to get a sniff in this weekend.
You better hope nobody nominates him. Oh God, with the sniffing. Don't. Then you're gonna miss not only this Friday, but next Monday and next Friday as you're being arraigned. Okay. Hey, Diggs, BTW, what's up, man? Thanks for joining us. All right, next up, we've got Superior Spider-Man number 27, signed with Miles Morales. This is brand new Spidey cover sketch by Joe Delbiato, Mariano Nicieza. Suggested retail of $119.99, and we have this one for $75. So, who was it you saw that you were sniffing?
Jack White.
That's right.
Yeah. I wasn't sniffing him. You notice smell. If someone's wearing cologne and they're right next to you, you notice it. I wasn't like, all up on his neck and stuff, man. Like, come on.
No, because you wouldn't be here right now to do this show either. You had done that. Oh, man. All right. So, you know what? Let's get through all the cover sketches, and then we'll do a Rex cap. Then we also have The Unworthy Thor number 1 and Superman Doomed number 1 signed connecting covers. Cover sketches of Thor versus Superman by Joe Delbiato and Mariano Nicieza. It's just at retail of $199.99, and we have a 1 for $100.
Superman's getting in too many fights today.
Yeah, right. So this one I think is really cool because obviously you got you're crossing Marvel and DC. And the detail is phenomenal. OUG, if he does that, he can do that, but he won't be going home anytime soon, is what I'm thinking. The 7-Nation Army can't hold back Robbie from sniffing.
That people are jealous, Jay. I understand. And it's okay. And by the way, maybe comic book creators want to smell me this weekend. So there you go. Hey, Preston, good pickup.
You got it, Preston. Okay, look. I'm going to tell you right now, if you go around, the con sniffing people, you're going to get in trouble. I'm just telling you straight up.
Only thing I'm going to be sniffing at that con is comic books, man. Come on.
You were the one who said you almost told White, "Hey, you smell really nice."
Yeah, I wanted to know what he was wearing, bruh. That's why, because I want to smell good like that.
Because that's not weird. Okay. Anyway.
Amy, is that weird? Is that weird to be like, hey, I really like whatever you're wearing. What is it? I'm curious. Is that weird?
Not that weird, no.
Yeah. See? Thank you, Amy.
Are you for real right now?
If you're polite about it, like...
What? Someone you don't know, a complete stranger.
If someone was wearing a perfume, I like to say, hey, where'd you get that perfume? It smells really nice.
Yep, exactly. There you go, Rex. See? But I just knew that Jack White probably had some rich guy cologne that was probably like $500 a bottle or something. But could also just be some Axe. What if he was just like, it's Axe body spray, rattlesnake?
No, I bet his reaction would be, yo, dude, what are you smelling me? Step back, man. Security! That's what's going to happen.
Some people will put one way too much and it goes everywhere. And it just gets in your face. Sometimes it can be a little annoying. So I remember one time, back when I was in school, some guy thought it'd be a really funny idea to try to I I don't know how many girls he tried this on, but he sprayed himself up with one of the Axe whatever, some commercial brand Axe body spray, and it actually got in my face. And then he sits down. He's like, "Oh, you like it? It's something." I was like, "Dude, it's in my eyes. It's awful." I was like, is this your way of trying to flirt with somebody? It was so,
and it didn't work. I'm shocked. Sounds like a winner to me.
That is so.
Just like
not
Robbie,
the way to get.
Just like Robbie sniffing random strangers.
You gotta be careful and polite when you're using any kind of cologne or perfume, and don't spray it in someone's face asking if they like it. Oh god. Yep. And don't ask for a pencil.
And I like to add something else. And don't walk up to random strangers and sniff them and then explain how great they smell. Okay, I'm sorry. And weird. If a strange man, I want to read that one. If a strange man sniffed me and said he'd like it, he'd be getting his nose set and I'd be in handcuffs.
Yeah, Eddie, but what if I did it? Like, what would happen then? Maybe you'd be like, "Oh, thanks, Robbie. That's awesome. It's really awesome."
If it's you, Robbie, he would probably be, "Look, dude, your hair is great. What hair products are you using?"
My hair smells amazing. I'll tell you that because of the products. So, yeah.
We'll have to take your word for it, bro.
Hi, Alex.
What's that smell?
I can tell you what that smell is.
Rex's jealousy and envy is what it is.
No, I had beans for lunch, so it's a little gassy in here.
Oh, Lord.
All right. Marcus, I think there should be that category now. Can I write in categories?
I don't think so, but you could help suggest
well,
something.
I'm getting ready to write you in for the best hair. I'm going to suggest a new category.
Best sniffer?
Yes.
Yeah, nice.
All right. Last couple.
Wouldn't best scent make more sense? Because best scent makes more sense.
This is all wrong on so many levels. That's why the best sniffer category is actually funnier in my opinion. You all just a bunch of weirdos. I don't even know if I can work like this.
I think we know what's okay and what's not okay by now. Okay. Okay.
I'm beginning to wonder. I got to be honest with you. I thought you did too, and Robbie too, but now I'm beginning. I feel like I got to reassess. There you go, EG. I'm copywriting that name. All right. Last cover sketch of the night. Fantastic Four #1 and Planet Hulk #1. Signed connecting cover sketches of Hulk versus Thing by Joe Del Biano and Mariano Nicieza. So just a retail of $199.99, and we have this one for $100. All right, so we somehow, CJ, lines are being crossed. I agree, man. So somehow I had suggested the topic be a pickup of what we talked about on Friday. Is the art or the writing more important in comic books? But somehow we've derailed into sniffing and how people smell, and Amy getting sprayed in the face by Axe body spray and explaining how that's probably not going to be a successful kind of pickup line for anybody out there that's
just
single.
Want people should know that. Guys, don't spray things in women's faces.
That is a great public service announcement. It really is.
Please don't. It won't work.
It would have been better if he had done it and then oh my God, did I get you in the face? I apologize. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, you gotta know how to pivot, right? You don't go with, "Oh, you like it?" No, dude, you sprayed me in the face, ass.
It got in my eye, and he had the nerve to ask to borrow a pencil. I was like, no.
Who asked to borrow a pencil anyway? For what? What do you need a pencil for?
I don't know.
That's like the dumbest thing I ever heard, dude. I'm old and we used pencils in my day. Okay. I went to school and every classroom had that sharpener with the handle that was bolted to the wall. They had little different sizes too. Who knows? But okay, Jen's jumping on your wagon now. Yeah, I'm telling you, back in my day, growing up in West Philly, it would be a certain invitation to get your butt kicked.
Girls like looking at each other, stuff like, "Oh my God, let me see your ring. Oh my God, let me see your earrings. Oh my God, let me see where you got your dress."
Yeah,
we're touchy.
Robbie goes,
through that every day. Oh, Robbie,
unless
let me run my fingers through your
I know
hair.
it depends on the person, but it's like. But I know people who are friends are always like, "Oh my God, where'd you get this?
Large
Where'd you
man.
get your perfume?" Yeah.
I wear polos so that old women are attracted to me.
Huh.
Stay away from nursing homes, bud.
Unless you're trying to raise money for a musical.
For what?
For a musical. That was a producer's reference. I had to explain it so it didn't work. So I'm sorry. It was a producer's reference. The Mel Brooks film. Okay, never mind.
Wow.
Anybody seen The Producers? Max Bialy stuff.
I have.
I've seen the movie.
Yes.
Yeah, the way he
Stick
funds.
with the comments about your hair, dude. It works better.
I'm trying to move away from the hair and the smelling conversation. Okay, I'm trying.
Oh God, who knows what will happen on Wednesday now?
Oh Lord. Hey, it's not a show unless we fall off the rails. So, Amy, you missed the discussion. You heard it from outside, but you missed it. So, what are you? You started to explain your thoughts to me.
A lot of people said like art. Excuse me.
And then Amy did say something real interesting. She said, "Well, I heard you and Robbie debating about it." I said, "Well, Amy, if I go in there and I go, I totally agree with you, Robbie. Thanks everyone for tuning in for 5 minutes. We're out of here. Okay, have a great weekend." There was no show, right?
Officially unofficial geek. I'm sorry. That's really funny.
Oh, UG, are you really from West Philly or no?
No, she's doing the Fresh Prince theme.
Oh.
Born and raised, Rex. That's all.
Go ahead. All right. So you heard a lot of people side with the art side. What are your
And
thoughts?
I get it because I mean the whole point about comic is you're supposed to look at it. It's pictures and movement and an artist's unique interpretation of each character, and that is important because that's really what art is. It's someone's specific point of view and how someone designs a character. But I also think I think the same way, especially when it comes to film, like you can't have their style over substance, and really to me both need to be as equal as possible. But I understand people's point. Like if the story's not quite as good as the art, I still want to look at the art, and that.
Well, I would say that there's that balance, right? So sometimes the art is better than the writing, and sometimes the writing is better than the art. But the trick is if those two the closer together, the lesser the separation in quality between the two, and then you got a good book, I think.
And don't we remember more storylines for the story themselves, not exactly the art?
Well,
I don't know. Like something like Weapon X, we know for the story explaining the origins of Wolverine, but most people remember it for the Barry Windsor Smith artwork. A lot of people remember that X-Men run with John Byrne. A lot of people remember his Fantastic Four.
Yeah, but wait a minute.
So what I'm trying to say though is, I agree with you that they both are equally important. I think you have to have a strong story and you have to have solid art to tell it, right? And the artists are storytellers as well. So they're a part of that process. Where me and Rex had our disagreement was when he told me he thought writing was a more difficult process than drawing a comic. That was where we had our disagreement, because the skill level to be a really top tier comic book artist, and of course a writer too, but like it is not easy to get a script from someone or a plot and then figure out how I'm going to tell the story clearly.
For you and me.
That makes sense.
Okay. For you and me, it may not be easy. But I watch somebody like Ken Hazer.
See, this is what happens. So he watches Ken Hazer draw Punisher and Dracula in 20 minutes. So he's like, oh, that's easy. But it's not easy. He had to, like, how long?
I'm not saying it's, I never said it was easy. But you keep saying, well, it's difficult because the artist has to try to translate this storyline and whatever. Well, guess what?
Because there are people that make good art that's pretty, but they can't tell a story. You know what I'm saying?
But the artist has to wait until the writer makes up that story for him to translate into art. That's the way it works. Even if the person is an artist writer, they still got to write their storyline down before they translate it into art.
I agree, Rex. I understand this. I'm just saying it's
so how is it harder? I'm not saying it isn't hard.
But I'm saying that you're diminishing the writing side of it by calling the art harder. Okay, because if it's a skill level thing, then yes, I bring up the Ken Hazer example. Okay, it's a gift, it's a talent.
Rex, don't argue too much, or you're gonna get sniffed.
I'll sniff you right through the internet, Rex. You just wait and see.
Hey, don't sniff
you
me.
You both have fair arguments because really the basis of a story is its writing. You got to have a story, or else you're not gonna have anything.
Don't try to be a peacemaker here, Gandhi. Okay,
But at the same time, here's another thing.
all the time I try to be. Yeah.
Someone goes into a comic shop, right? And they're like, let me pick up some books and take a look. What do? They flip through them. They flip through and go, that looks like an awesome story. They go, man, that looks like some exciting artwork. That looks really cool. Let me check that out. And then, of course, writing keeps us there. And that was one thing I heard, is that art gets you in the door. The writing will keep you there. And very rarely do we have comics where it's like the perfect combination of a top tier writer and a top tier artist. And I have to have story. I don't want just good art, right? But there are books in my collection that I have because they're from artists I like, even though I think the story's crap. You know what I'm saying? And it's just because like I like the way that artist interprets the story. I like the way their figure work or their perspective. And there's so much involved. I know there's so much involved with writing about learning to pace and learning your acts and your themes and how to lay them in a certain way. And that is a hard thing to learn and do very well, especially in comics. Man, there is so much behind being a comic book artist, including just the fact of you have to spend thousands of dollars on tools, right? And a writer, what do you need? A pencil? Maybe you could borrow a pencil from someone, but there's so much more involved.
You know what? We should get Mariano to come in one day because Mariano has written, he's been an editor, he's an artist, and get his take on it. That would be
That's
interesting.
a great idea.
Yeah.
Get his take on it. And he loves to talk and use big words, so this would be perfect.
And I like Eddie's comment here too. Some comments are just pictures, and if it's done right, then it's incredible.
But that's a rarity, and you can't convey as much. You just can't without the words. That's the truth. File hops and braille comics are intense. But I'll tell you, we should do that. We should have that the topic because it is. I think OUG said it. I like how she put it. This is sort of a chicken egg conversation in a sense, right? So I'd be interested to get his take on it because he's actually been on both sides and actually been an editor. So the question becomes, and he does a lot of work even now with writers and artists, put things together. So I like to know, what is easier from his perspective to do. The art or the writing, and see what he says. But yeah. So, well, what else has happened? So you're going to Charlotte this weekend.
That's right.
Should be a nice trip.
Maybe I'll ask everybody there. Hey, what's more important, art or writing? We need to know.
Yeah, that'll be okay. You start.
I think in the end, my answer really is it's both. That's my.
You start
that's my
sniffing
answer.
people, and I'll tell you what, Charlotte PD will be asking you some questions, and it won't be about whether art or writing's more important.
Yeah, they'll be asking me like, "Yo, where do you buy your clothes? How do you get your hair done? Like, what do you use? You smell good. What are you wearing?" And I'll be like, "Nothing." That's just me,
dude. Whatever you're drinking, you gotta send me an email and let me know what it is.
Dr. Pepper, zero sugar, my man. Zero sugar, Dr. Pepper.
With vodka.
If the art isn't good, I won't pick it up. But if the writing isn't good, I won't keep buying it. That's a good one too.
That's a good point. That actually is a very good point. So, but as we agreed, it is two things that coexist. And you can't take.
I got some Punisher books that I don't think are very good, like very well written, but they got Jim Lee artwork, so I got them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
CVB. I vote for art being more important. I learned how to draw copying comics. Okay.
And peaked in 6th grade.
But I understand what you're saying. As someone who was watching my Ken Hazer interview was actually like, hey, I'm actually an artist, and watching this interview is really helpful for me because I'm hearing Ken's input and how he developed his art. I'm developing my own. So that's what that Stevie's comment reminded me of. Like there are other art, like especially for artists, they'll look at comic books and say, okay, how do you do this? So yeah, that's what they're paying attention to, not so much the story.
OUG, that's hilarious. You read what OUG wrote, Robbie?
Of course, and come on, OUG. Of course, I'm going to have to get consent if I'm actually actively sniffing someone. If I happen to notice someone 1 foot in front of me smells nice, it's just what happens.
Now, so I got to ask you, would you videotape that moment when you're asking for consent? Because I can't even imagine how you're going to word it. So I'd like to know.
Hey, bro, you mind if I give you a good sniff?
Oh, Triple B, what's up, buddy? Still waiting on your CCAs, buddy.
Yeah, they're in the works. I'm gonna make sure to dab a little bit of cologne on them too, so they have a nice smell.
Yeah, Triple B, he's really busy. That hair doesn't take care of itself.
It doesn't. It's a process.
All right, let's do a Rex cap before we got to go to the next break.
Thank you, Jay.
Rex cap.
All right, here we go, Jay. All right, as always, we started with the Dynamite 10-pack reader set, 10 random Dynamite titles, retail of $40 or higher, and we have the whole 10-book set for $5. Then we did Return of Wolverine #1 CSA exclusive version variant, dual signed by Charles Soule and Addie Granoff. It's just a retail of $59.99, and we've got the lowest price I think we've ever had on this for $29.99. Then we had Silver Surfer Rebirth #1, Dan Jurgens variant, signed by Dan Jurgens. It's just a retail of $49.99. This one we are practically giving away at $19.68. Then we had Venom #21, Legacy #186, signed in silver by Don Cates. It's just a retail of $69.99, and we have one available for $34.99. Yes, Stevie B, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, John, you are at home right now, right? So it's not that big a deal. So I'm assuming, because John and I were texting back and forth, I'm assuming you check with the wife, you no longer have AAA. Because for dead battery, that's the best thing. Because they'll come out, flip the battery for you, and it doesn't cost you. It doesn't count towards the 4 annual visits or tows you get, because they're selling you a battery. But the little guy will drive around, or the little van will come around, they'll pop battery in. And, I've had it done 2 different times. Battery died, called AAA. They came in, popped a new battery. Everything was good. All right, so next up, we have Spawn #1, 30th anniversary edition, signed with Batman Spawn cover sketch by Ken Hazer. Just a retail of $89.99. We have the one for $69.99. Then we had the Mighty Thor #1, signed with Thor versus Kang cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. It's just a retail of $149.99. We've got this one for $50. And Robbie likes to call it the dance off?
Yeah, dance off cover, right?
All right. Then we have Captain America #695, signed with Hulk versus Captain America and Bucky cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. Just suggested retail of $199.99. We have one available for $120. Then we had Superior Spider-Man #27, signed with Miles Morales Spidey cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. It's just a retail of $119.99, and we have the one available for $75. And then finally, we had Fantastic Four #1 and Planet Hulk #1, signed connecting cover sketches of Hulk versus the Thing by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. It's just a retail of $199.99, and we have the one available for $100. All right, that finishes the Rex Cat. We're going to take our next break. We will be back in a couple minutes. Stay with us.
Programming on the EXP is made possible by viewers like you, or your local comic shop, or that Kickstarter you backed, or the publisher you like, or comic industry professionals who want to share a message with the world. Really, anyone who wants to advertise with us can. If you're interested in seeing a product you know and love, or are creating, or are publishing, or are involved with, advertised here on The Experience, and having your message shared with our viewers, please reach out by scanning the QR code below or visiting our website and using the contact form. You know how when you go to Comic-Con, after Comic-Con, you go to the hotel bar, and there's a whole bunch of people playing music and dancing, and you've got Pikachu and Lara Croft Tomb Raider doing the cha-cha slide just down from Deadpool and Batman and Wonder Woman? That's every Saturday night over on the Experience Twitch channel. Join Taji Beats for the EXP Dance Party, exclusively on Twitch, twitch.tv/the_EXP.
Imagine being at a convention and going to an interview panel that's just for you. No bustling crowds, no hours-long lines, just you, the moderator, and your favorite comic book creators. Well, this is pretty much that. Miss Jen sits down every week with 2 comic book creators for a live stream interview about their latest work, and you can ask them whatever you want. It's Talking Shop, Mondays at 5 Eastern on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales. You're watching The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
So we're back, man. It is raining outside, which means that, thank God, my front lawn is starting to turn brown. We haven't had rain so long. All right, so you know what? All right, so now we got back issues. All right, let's start with the. All right, here we go. So, Jay, I'm just going to start from the top of the list. We're just going to go straight down the list, buddy. All right, so we have Amazing Spider-Man number 365. First Spider-Man 2099, and we have the one available for $25.
It's a pretty solid price for that, because this book gets heated up, especially because of old Miguel being in Spider-Verse, right? He's in Across the Spider-Verse. Oscar Isaac plays him. So, hey, there's Lars Man.
Lars Man's taking that one. Thanks, Lars Man.
Robbie, have you seen that yet?
No, I still haven't seen it. And this week the Flash is out, and I'm going to be in Charlotte, and so I'm just going to fall behind. I'm just going to have to go and spend a day at the theater.
That hair doesn't look that way by itself. The man's got to take time and care.
Just saying, I've seen it twice now. So
well, he can't. I mean, he's got to coif his head there, you know, with his hair products. Takes
Rex,
time.
if you really must know, the hair routine takes no more than 5 minutes. It's very easy.
You say that now, but you're trying to get nominated for best hair category. So I'm thinking these two things don't jive, buddy. They really don't.
Yeah, when you combine it with the beard, though, it can hit about 10 minutes. So, yeah.
Okay. Not buying it, but okay. All right, next up we got Avengers Annual number 8 from 1978. All right, we got this one for $12.
Who is that on the cover there? I have no idea who that is.
Doctor
It says
Strange.
Thundra and Miss Marvel.
Is that Miss Marvel?
No, not
Miss Marvel's on the side.
Yeah, she's laying down on the side. Vision's down, and
I mean, like,
Thor is
who's the
off
one
the
that's
plate.
like shooting Thor, like blasting Thor?
Thundra?
I have no idea.
It's got to be Thundra.
No,
Okay.
Thundra's in the circle below Doctor Strange.
Oh, that's right.
Huh. I'm curious. Anybody in the chat know?
Gotcha, Jay. All right, next up we got Moon Knight #9. Hopefully with a Robbie approved cape. Frank Miller cover.
Nice.
Does that meet with your approval of the cape?
Yes, it does, especially because it's our boy Frank, who I met, who's awesome.
Name drop. All right, we've got this one for $12. All right, I'm pretty sure Lars Man is not going to pick this one up. Moon Knight #11 from 1981. Bill Sienkiewicz cover.
Nice.
And we've got this one for $10.
One of the biggest things bumming me out about Heroes Con is that Bill Sienkiewicz canceled. So I was so looking forward to meeting him. He's one of my favorites. Absolutely.
So did Preston claim something else and I miss it? Or is Marcus just delayed? Maybe Marcus just delayed. All right. So what's the next movie coming out?
Well, like Robbie said, this weekend's Flash,
Oh,
and
that's right. That is this week.
there's like, I mean,
So
there
are you
picks-
going opening night, or did you make a call on that, or what?
I might go Friday night after work. Cause yeah, we got Bueller on Thursday now, Rex. I
Oh,
can't
that's right. That's right.
I can't just jump out here willy nilly anymore.
Dude,
Not
show
like
us
she's
here.
John.
Nobody's
But yeah,
John.
Flash opens. Wes Anderson's next movie comes out.
Oh,
Pixar's
Asteroid
next movie
City,
comes out.
right? That looks great. That looks really cool. Oppenheimer's coming soon. Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning
next
Part
month.
1. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of stuff this summer. Summer's nuts.
Anybody see the Transformers movie? I've been hearing mixed things about that one.
What have you heard?
I've
I'm not
heard
a
from some people it was
Transformers
good, and from some people it was bad. So
I kind of felt like we jumped the shark on that franchise. I don't know.
I think we jumped the shark in that
Yeah.
franchise in the first film.
I liked the first one. I thought the first one
The
was
first
good.
one's like the only good one.
Yeah, the second one was.
I hear that the bump. I haven't watched any after the second one because the Revenge of the Fallen was so bad to me. I just never went back. But I hear the Bumblebee one that they did last time was really, really good.
So Dwayne's heard all bad. So I'll just wait until that one's streaming too.
Yeah, I'm thinking about Flash Friday night, and I think someone on TikTok let out a spoiler. I won't say it, but I was like,
Uh-oh.
really?
Well, dude, you guys, come on, man. With social media today, I mean, you're gonna see spoilers no matter where you go.
It's not the end of the world though. I'm just like,
I-
it would have been a nice surprise.
I think I mentioned this to Robbie. I finally watched Avatar: Way of Water. Loved it. Sorry if you didn't like it. Too bad. I loved it.
Good for you.
Brought a tear to my eye. Only way I knew it was 3 hours is I had to go pee 3 times, but other than that, didn't feel like it. So I know you don't like Avatar. I got it. It's okay. You don't have to like Avatar, just like I don't have to like Blade Runner 20. What year was it again? 20. I suck. I don't know.
2049.
Yeah, whatever.
I can't have this conversation with you anymore, Rex. I can't.
It's okay. I can have the conversation all by myself with you present. No problem. 65 with Adam Driver. I have not seen that yet. Has anybody? Anybody else?
No, I have not.
Ron, I don't think so. Jay, when you get a chance, buddy, if you could throw the link up. Thank you, Marcus. So I'll hold tight, Ron. He's going to throw it up in a second. All right. Finish out the Moon Knights. Mark Spector Moon Knight number 18 from 1990. This is the newsstand edition. It is the news cover.
There it
All
is.
right. And we've got this one for $6. All right.
Then we have Marvel Age number 91 from 1990. Thanos cover. And we've got this one for $5.
Nice cover.
Yeah, we're practically giving these away. Just we need to clear space in the inventory, so we are giving this stuff away more or less. Good one, Lyle. All right, then we have a Marvel Superheroes number 1 from 1966. First Marvel one-shot. Reprints Avengers number 2. Stan Lee's first Marvel work in Captain America number 3. Daredevil number 1 and Mystery Comics number 8. All right, so this is from 1966, and we've got this one for $20.
That's really cool.
All right. Next up, we've got Deathlock number 1 from 1990. Prestige format. First appearance of second Deathlock, Michael Collins. And we've got this one for $7.
I want to get a van, right? And I'm going to get this airbrushed on the side. I think that would be dope.
Why don't you talk to Bueller?
Yeah, let's get it airbrushed on Bueller's van. Let's do it.
See? You kidding me? How awesome would that be? Bueller bus rolling all over the country.
What would be really cool is if he had like a Vampirella airbrushed on that van. That would be dope. I've been trying to get him to do it. So
not my department. All right. So you're thinking about seeing Flash on Friday.
Mm-hmm. I think I might just go after work.
What has been? I have been reading the reviews. What's it been like?
The reviews, for the most part, have been good. Some say they love it, and then there's plenty of reviews that say it's good. It's not great, but it's fun. That's what we wanted to hear. It's a fun, nice movie that it might be a little overhyped from the people who first saw it. Like, oh my god, it's the greatest comic book movie of all time. But there's a lot of people saying it's not. It's a good movie, but it's not.
I can't wait. It's almost like, I don't know, a job that's taken too long. I just want them to get on.
One thing that I keep hearing is that it's a really good kind of tribute and capstone to all DC films up to this point. So it's a cool thing to have before the James Gunn era starts, because obviously it kind of is a send-off for the Snyderverse, but also with all the Tim Burton Batman stuff. And there's even other things involved as well. Of course, Andy Muschietti leaked that Nicolas Cage makes an appearance in there as Superman. So that's pretty dope.
What?
You didn't hear that?
No, I didn't hear
that. That wasn't the spoiler I saw on TikTok, but that's a surprise to me.
Oh yeah, Andy Muschietti actually came out and said it, because Nick Cage was supposed to be Superman in that Tim Burton Superman Lives movie. Yeah, so apparently they got him. So he mentioned it and said that he was in it.
I will now have to watch it because I've never been able to imagine Nick Cage.
I've heard other rumors. I've heard George Clooney's in it. I've heard that they tried to put a bunch of cool little cameos in it, but then I hear that the cameos do not detract from the story. They say Ezra plays a very emotional and solid role. They say Keaton is fun, and they say Supergirl is just absolutely awesome in the film.
Now, who's playing Supergirl?
I believe her name's Sasha Calle.
All right. So I'm excited to see it. I mean, I just feel like it's been in the news for so long. Like, let's just get it over with already. Please. Just get it done.
Yes.
Release the damn movie. Let's see it.
I'm happy to hear that's one of the better DC movies, but I'm like,
I've heard that
the whole Snyderverse, I was just, I rewatched Man of Steel to help me, because I'm like, I might have to help me, refresh some information before I see this, because obviously there's going to be plot points that are mentioned in this movie. Man of Steel is such a chore to get through. It's a chore.
I understand what you're saying, Preston, but it's just gotten so weird that it might actually be fun, like Sharknado. It's just reached this realm of, oh my God, with all the nonsense, the years in production, and then the Ezra Miller stuff. Let's just get it out there. Let's watch it. What the heck? Okay? At the end of the day, I watched Sharknado. As ridiculous as the premise was, I'm like, what is everybody talking about? I got to see. I feel like the Flash movie has almost reached that level. It's like, just put it out there. Come on, guys. We'll watch it. See? Thank you, Preston. Hey, Joel, what's up, buddy? So maybe it's just me, but it just feels like we've been talking about it for a really long time.
Oh, you're right.
So I really just like them to get it. Road collecting, what's up, man? I really like just to get it over with. Bite the bullet. Let's see it. What do you think, Robbie?
Yeah, it's been in the works for so long. I mean, what, 7 years probably? They announced this Flash movie very early on in the DCEU, right? And then we had COVID happen, and then all the Ezra stuff happened, and then reshoots had to happen because directions changed and this and that. DC never made a commitment. So yeah, but I am excited to see it, and especially hearing that it's like a nice kind of callback and send off to all like 30 years of DC films, basically. 40 even if there's any reference to.
Has it been 9 years really since they first mentioned it?
Probably, because remember they did that whole slate. We're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do a Cyborg film, or do Flash, we're going to do this, and initially it was just called Flashpoint, right? So I'm excited to see it
though. Before the TV series, wow, really has been that long.
Real quick, I thought when they did the TV crossovers, the Crisis on Infinite Earths on TV, I thought that was very well done when they did that whole special. I don't know if you've seen any of it, Robbie. I don't know if you watched any of the CW shows, but I thought I always thought they did a great job whenever they did their crossovers.
I
was out of it by the time they did that, though.
Yeah, it got a little bit too long.
But they did pay. But on that specific trip, they paid tribute to a lot of shows like to Smallville and to the Batman '89 universe and the original Batman '66. They had all these small tributes as part of this one big storyline, and it's crazy that they somehow, like, the one thing they didn't reveal about was Ezra Miller does make an appearance in the Crisis, because him and Grant Gustin actually talked to each other for one scene. I was like, how did they keep that quiet? They somehow did, and so it was such a surprise when I saw them both on the TV. I was
weird. So in weird said, has anybody heard that rumor? That Burt Ward has a small cameo for 66?
I've heard that rumor as well.
But like I said, he had a cameo on the crossover special too.
So
I think Jay's got a pic of Nick Cage as Superman from the 90s when they were making that movie.
Oh, God help us all.
There it is.
Oh, God.
You're not a fan of the costume.
I just really wish we would have gotten that movie just to have it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many bad movies I love, like the Super Mario Brothers movie from the 90s. Like,
and the Corman FF, another one.
Yeah, but it's just fun to have those. Like, just to be like, I can't believe
it was so bad, dude. It was just
Superman Lives was crazy.
What? They got $100 budget? What are they doing?
Superman Lives was crazy. It was going to be directed by Tim Burton. It was going to be about the death and return of Superman. Kevin Smith was the writer. He talks about it a lot. They did a documentary called The Death of Superman Lives that's totally worth checking out. So I just wish we would have had that movie just to be like, what an oddity, y'all.
Right. I don't know. I think it would be cool if Burt Ward shows up in the Flash.
Could you imagine the response, though? Like, if they would have made this movie and that Nick Cage Superman was Superman, could you imagine how people would have responded? Now, do remember in the 90s, Superman had the mullet, so maybe that's what they were going for. I don't
crucified Michael Keaton.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, and Nick Cage can only act like Nick Cage. Every movie Nick Cage has done, it's Nick Cage playing himself.
Yep.
In that role, okay? Whatever you want to call it. So, I don't think he can do what Keaton did. I just don't. I think it's a weird casting choice, but I'd like to see it.
It was a weird casting choice, but it was also just a weird production. And then like Tim Burton's the last person I would think to do a Superman movie. Now I get what they were thinking at the time is he made Batman a big successful franchise for us, so we can give him Superman, but that had to have been a weird aesthetic attached to that film.
Yeah, I'm imagining people scratching their heads most of the time. But again, if Burt Ward shows up to honor Batman 66, I would love it. I would love to, I'd love to see that. That'd be so cool. You're paying homage to Batman 66. That's something I still watch every Saturday, believe it or not. If I'm at home, I wake up, it's on not Spike, Heroes and Icons. That plus the old George Reeves Superman and Wonder Woman, and they even have they used to. I haven't seen it in a while. Greatest American Hero. And I love Batman 66. And all the stuff that goes on with every episode, and they luckily play episode 1 half hour and episode 2 half hour back to back, so you don't have to wait. Which is what I hated when I was a kid. You catch the first half of Batman 66 on one day, and you have to wait till the next day to catch the second half.
Like, how are they going to escape this giant magnifying glass?
Yeah, by that point it was already in syndication, so they could play it, but they didn't play them together. It's like what would have been a problem to play an hour of it? This was like 4th, 5th grade for me. I used to watch it on the Family Channel. They would play like an hour block of Batman. So they would play both episodes, and then they would play an hour block of the Monkeys. And like, I was obsessed with Batman 66 and the Monkeys. And I still kind of am. Like, I absolutely used to watch Monkeys. That was afternoon programming when you got home. Batman
I love the Monkeys, dude.
66 was.
I got to get a Blu-ray set or something of that. I adore that. And their movie they did, which was called Head. I don't know if you ever saw that, but they did this movie. I did. And Jack Nicholson was a co-writer of that film. I don't know if you knew that or not.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they actually on set, they had a room built, like just in the middle of the set, where they would just go with Jack Nicholson and do a lot of drugs and write the script to this crazy movie.
I got to tell you, 66 was perfect in its timing. It was so 60s. The color schemes, the general take of it, and all the superstars that they had as villains. It was just awesome. I just, when you look back at that, it was, and I think that's where Green Hornet went south. Because it was a spinoff off of 66, right? So it spun off of 66, and the problem is that they took Green Hornet too serious. They lost that campy feel, I think, right? And that's where they went wrong. Batman always had that campy feel, and that worked really, really well, I thought. But in my opinion,
the camp has a lot to do with the success. It's almost like Adam West described it at the time. He's like, we knew what we were doing. We were doing theater of the absurd, like they didn't take that seriously. Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb. Man, I love that movie so much. I really do. They make all the UN leaders like pixie stick dust or whatever. Like,
dude, I love that movie because they broke open the budget for that one, right? You had the helicopter, you had the bat boat,
the submarine. Oh my goodness,
submarine.
You had the shark repellent.
Yep. That's right. In a can,
In a recent issue of Batman, it was 900 actually. Batman's being flung through all these different realities. He goes to the Batman 66 reality, and he uses the shark repellent, which I think was awesome. That's a nice little touch.
The Lego Batman movie did that joke too.
Which one?
The Lego Batman movie also has its moments where it does pays homage to the old ones. They do make a shark repellent joke, but another one of my favorite moments is Alfred's going, sir, you had a lot of weird different phases. There was that one in 2016, and then that one in the 90s phase, and then 1992. It goes back to it's recreating all these scenes from the Batman movies. And then there's the 60s, and then it actually cuts to the live action Adam West.
So
he's like, that was weird.
That was brilliant on a level that I don't even think they realized at the time. And they certainly didn't realize the legs it was going to have, right? On Batman 66, right? There's no way that they had any inkling it was going to be like that. Eddie Von B, or Ed Weird, I did know that actually, and that was again, Bruce Lee was it didn't fit with Bruce Ward's fighting style. Obviously, there was no fit there, but it was still great to watch. But Bruce Lee, funny story, when he left, does anybody remember? Well, I don't know. Again, Amy won't, but Kung Fu with David Carradine.
Yeah,
when that came on, I watch that brand new once a week, dude. I don't know. It may be more commonly known now, but what wasn't commonly known then was Bruce Lee actually pitched the idea to Hollywood about Kung Fu. A Buddhist monk in the American West. It was a great concept, but they didn't want Bruce to do it. So they hired David Carradine, who obviously knew no martial arts whatsoever, right? And that's what caused Bruce Lee to quit Hollywood and moved back to Hong Kong. And that's when he started making movies in Hong Kong and became a massive success, obviously. And then with that push and the Shaw Brothers at the time, he was able to make Enter the Dragon as a U.S. film, and it worked. You've seen Enter the Dragon, right?
Of course, I've seen all those Bruce Lee films, and I love I like the Chinese Connection, Big Boss, and all that stuff. I love
right. So that first scene, Enter the Dragon, he's fighting that guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, with the monks surrounding him.
Yeah.
Okay. That is.
Isn't that Jackie Chan?
No, it is not Jackie Chan, but somebody that worked with Jackie Chan. All of a sudden, I want to say Chow Yun-fat, but it's not Chow Yun-fat.
Okay.
All of a sudden, I
didn't he break the dude's arm or something in that movie too when he kicked him too hard or something like that?
No, I think that might have been what was released as Return of the Dragon.
Okay.
The one where he's in Rome with Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris, yeah, that's a good.
Yeah, there was that scene where they're in the back of the restaurant, and he does that kick, and the guy's holding the pad. I think he broke that dude's arm.
Okay.
Preston, he made it work. I got to disagree a little bit with that. He made it work because we had so little, and obviously the kung fu genre, your martial arts genre started to really just explode. And I believe, if I remember correctly, kung fu came out after Bruce Lee passed away, so they hopped on the idea. Okay, but it was in development, and I remember he got frustrated because he couldn't push the idea through. And years later, obviously, they made the thing.
It came out in 72. 72 is when Kung Fu came out, I think. Yeah.
72. So yeah, it did happen. It might have been in production.
When did Bruce Lee die? Was it like 74, 75?
No, he died in 1973. You can look that up. I am almost certain.
73. Yep, July 20th, 73.
It was. You have to understand something, and I don't normally talk about anything very controversial on this show. But I got to tell you something. For a young Chinese kid growing up in the United States, right after Vietnam War, it was not easy. And Bruce Lee brought this kind of all of a sudden Asian hero, to the forefront. And it worked. So when he died, I mean, I was obviously very small. I was very young. And I didn't actually start watching Bruce Lee movies. It didn't cross over until, Enter the Dragon did. And I made my mom go see it. I loved it. And my mom was mortified because it was an R-rated movie. There was obviously nudity. She didn't know, and she was mortified. And I remember being in a movie theater, and my mom threw her hands up over my eyes because I was a real little kid back then, right? It was funny as hell. I had to be 7 or 8. But Stevie B, that is correct, because the Bruce Lee story is so phenomenal. He was a personal hero of mine. All right, to the point where I refuse to watch any more Quentin Tarantino movies. Period. Lyle, you are older than me, buddy.
Because of the way he portrays him in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah. You know what? We got to take our last final break, and we'll pick this up as soon as we get back. But that is why, and I'll explain why. All right, take us out, JD. We'll be right back in a couple minutes.
Did you know that across America there are over 2, maybe even 3 live stream producers who can't even afford Mountain Dew? Take Brian here. Brian has gone 2 weeks without a sip of Red Bull. If it goes on much longer, he may take a shower and get a real job. Situations like this are as tragic as they are preventable. Join the experience on YouTube and gain access to special emojis and members-only streams. For less than a cup of coffee, you can keep socially awkward hermit people working from their parents' basements where they belong. Scan the QR code on the screen to join. You'll be glad you did. Comic Collectables is here for you every Wednesday with AR Comics for two very important reasons. To sell you rare, one-of-a-kind comics that you'll love, and to confuse AR with old man talk. You see, Rex and John are, how should I put this, ancient as the roots of the mountains. So every week, Rex and John fill in AR in yet another area of pop culture that he missed because he's too young, just didn't have the time, or just really doesn't care about. It's a real public service they provide. Come buy some super rare and unique comics, while old men explain long-dead sci-fi shows to a younger man making that confused puppy face. Every Wednesday from 6 to 8 Eastern with Rex, John, and AR Comics. Comic Collectables on The Experience. Comic culture and sales.
Go follow The Experience on TikTok at @the_EXP1 or scan the QR code on the screen. Our TikTok is like everywhere else we are, except you only have to deal with us for a minute. Seems like a win-win to me.
All right. So, Lyle, the only reason I thought you were a young man was because you're working in the Arctic. And I know right now at my age, I can't possibly even imagine that. Okay. I don't like it when it snows here, let alone be in sub-zero temperatures. No way. So yeah. And then we'll get to the rest of the back issues. But I want to touch on this because it was a very influential point in my life. So growing up in this country, you know, heroes always look kind of the same, don't they? You know, and there wasn't one that was Chinese, and up comes this guy. And he started this new thing. And it is funny, the movies that got dubbed and came over, because after Bruce Lee died, they first tried to fill in with all his Hong Kong movies that he made while he was in Hong Kong. And then, don't blame me. God bless you, man. And then they realized, oh my God, there is an insatiable appetite in the U.S. market for this.
Yeah, Bruceploitation.
They took the old Hong Kong films, dubbed it over, and just kept pushing them over here. Okay, of course, none of them had that quality, but Bruce.
And then there was that dude, Bruce Lie, right? Bruce L.I., right? And like all those Bruceploitation era of films, like in the 70s and early 80s, where they were just trying to, for instance, The Game of Death. Like, I'm glad I got the Criterion that has like the most complete version of what Bruce's vision was. I like that because the actual one that was released, I think, is one of the most offensive films in history. Like, they're actually using footage, like guerrilla footage from his funeral and stuff like that. I think it's so distasteful.
Yep. Yeah, it was a money grab on every level. And then it ended because eventually the movie viewing public saw it. Well, this is crap, dude. And they're all the same. So we're not watching it anymore. And there was a lull, okay? Because the other thing that Bruce Lee brought or introduced was good martial arts, as opposed to the crap that you were seeing in the movies. And then when he passed, there was a long dead period, okay? You know, Chuck Norris tried, and he obviously was a real martial artist. He was young enough at the time. But man, every single one of his movies, talk about writing being important. Who wrote the screenplays for these things? They were awful. And again, Chuck's acting got better, certainly. But when he started, his acting was atrocious. And he was Mr. No Emotion. So, but even he became an instant action star, right? Because there was this vacuum. And he, at least, his martial arts was real. He was a black belt in Tang Soo Do, I believe. He was in a Bruce Lee movie, so he had that association. So luckily, he got enough movies, enough appearances that eventually he could improve his acting. So I really think one of his best movies was Lone Wolf McQuade, which eventually became the idea, I think, that Walker, Texas Ranger, sort of, right? But I thought that was his best acting of all the movies he made. And he didn't try so hard to be somebody he wasn't. He just kind of was somebody he was. And I watched Walker, Texas Ranger also. It's on Heroes and Icon channel as well. So I love watching that as well.
You know who I also like? You're talking about, this makes me think, is it Gordon Liu from 36 Chamber of Shaolin, right? And he's in the 8 Diagram Pole Fighter. Have you seen that Pole Fighter movie? That's one of my favorites. I love that movie. I really is that his name, Gordon Liu?
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
He's in Kill Bill, right? He's like is he the sword guy or something? But like you've seen
the master?
Yeah, I think so. You've seen 36 Chambers, right?
Yeah. I think you're thinking he was the master. I forget what his name is. He was the fight choreographer in Kill Bill, and he was the master that she goes to train with.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, he would
he had a very long career in Hong Kong making these movies and stuff.
I love him, and I love the Venoms. Like, all the stuff that they did together is absolutely fantastic. Like, my buddy Bob, Bueller's good friend. He got me on this road through Kung Fu movies for a while there, and I loved them so much.
So yeah, that Preston, I don't know, buddy. Be kind of cool, but I don't know. That's not my department. So I'm not sure.
Now, Mr. Easy Go Lucky, you're right. Nightmare on Elm Street was Johnny Depp's first film.
Where that question came from, CDB.
But I love Johnny Depp's performance in Nightmare on Elm Street. The way he gets sucked in that bed and just all the blood, it's good stuff. That's good stuff.
So for me growing up here, there wasn't another Asian hero until Jackie Chan came out. By that time, I was in my teens. Okay, and I remember seeing his very first movie, which was god awful too, made in Hong Kong, and it was what was it called? Eagle's Claw meets something or another. And it was just this brutally same kind of script. It was horrible, but he was so phenomenal. You know, even with the bad script, he was able to act his way out of it. And he brought a new kind of hero. You know, Bruce Lee was the tough guy. He was more that Clint Eastwood kind of hero. Jackie Chan became that kind of a lovable hero, the accidental hero, if you will. So it gave you kind of a different look. And then Jet Li coming out was phenomenal. I saw his first movie, which was also, it wasn't their acting, it was the script. You know, it was a Shaolin Temple, I think. Oh, it was so, but the martial arts in the film, because they went to, in China, what they have is they have what they call opera schools. So these guys are trained in martial arts because of Peking opera, and they're actual schools. So they went and filmed the entire film at one of these schools. So the fighting was just, oh my God, martial arts was absolutely incredible. But the acting was so god-awful bad, and the script was just horrendous.
I'm assuming you've seen Hero, right? Hero's probably one of my favorite Kung Fu movies, one of my favorite Hong Kong movies. I absolutely adore Hero. That movie blew me away when I watched it.
Yeah, and no doubt. I mean, I obviously there's something going on with Jet Li physically. Hey, Tom Bishop. So, and that's unfortunate. You hate to hear that. Jackie Chan, obviously, at his age, he's broken so many bones, my lord.
What do you think about the Ip Man franchise? You a fan of those? Because
I do. Donnie Yen is that next generation. So I really like Donnie Yen. So the Ip Man, and he was making films long before that. Because I tend to watch a lot of Hong Kong films. So, and you can tell when somebody has that talent. Now, he and Jet Li were in a movie together. Oh, my God. I can't remember the name of the movie now. It was, choreography was phenomenal.
I've seen that one. What is that one?
Yeah, what is the name of that movie? Darn it. It is a period piece. Shoot, what was it? Now I got to look it up. But he was phenomenal. So anyway, the guy in the...
Fist of Legend?
No. Maybe.
Hmm.
I have to look it up. But
They're not both in Once Upon a Time in China, are they?
no, Once Upon a Time in China was Jet Li by himself.
Okay, and he's playing like Bruce Lee's mentor in that one, right?
No.
Isn't that the one where he's playing? No. Okay.
No. Once Upon a Time in China is about a period of Chinese history during the Western occupation.
That's right. And is that the one where he fights like he has to like fight the dude at the end or whatever, and he dies, right, or something like that? Anyway, I'm probably misremembering.
I don't think so.
There's one where Jet Li is like this national hero, this Chinese national hero, and he has to like fight, I think, a Japanese fighter at the end of the film, and he winds up like dying in the fight. But it like anybody know which one is it?
Sounds like it.
Is it? Am
so
I getting
Dwayne DePayne? Yeah, Wang Fei Hong is an actual historical figure in Chinese history. I don't know if you knew martial arts or not. Yeah, how these things go. But yeah, once upon a time in China was about this character in history, Wang Fei Hong, who was also a doctor. Actually, he was known more as a doctor. Forbidden Kingdom was good, but I think both Jackie Chan and Jet Li were getting a little too old. Okay, but that was actually based on a Chinese fairy tale about the Monkey King. So that was surrounding that.
I like that movie actually, Forbidden Kingdom. I think it's fun. It's a little cheesy, maybe a little too goofy at certain moments, but I like it for the most part.
So Stevie B in in Bloodsport, Van Damme's opponent was
talking about Bolo Young, man.
Yeah, Bolo Young, who was the villain in Enter the Dragon.
That's right.
In Enter the Dragon, the first scene where he's fighting that guy, that's a little chubby, that's Sammo Hung, who like had a TV series in the United States for about a minute. It was called Martial Law. But the actor Sammo Hung is very famous in the East because he could do all that stuff, but he obviously didn't have that build. He was a fat dude, but he could do all the stuff like the stuff you saw. Sammo Hung and Jackie Chan made a boatload of movies together because they went to the same martial arts training academy when they were young. So they're all connected somewhere. But Bruce Lee was the guy who started it all, man. So that's the way it goes. I can't hear anything, Robbie. You're on mute.
Oh, my bad. Fearless is the movie I was talking about. Eddie just reminded me.
Okay, yes.
I love that movie, man, where he has to like fight against all these different fighters. There's like there's somebody from like maybe European country or something like that, and it winds up with like him facing off against the Japanese fighter.
That was Jet Li though, right?
Yeah, that's Jet Li. I love that movie, man.
So Donnie Yen I see as like a newer generation, although he's not young either. Right? I mean, he's in his 50s as well. But their paths never seem to really cross. Let me see. Maybe so. Donnie Yen. Trying to see which one.
Another cool Donnie Yen movie. I mean, Donnie Yen's an Iron Monkey, right?
Maybe it is Hero. Yeah, I think it is Hero, where Jet Li and Donnie Yen are in the same movie together.
Okay.
That's a piece of Chinese history about the Four Kingdoms when China was broken up into Four Kingdoms. I remember that. Yeah. That movie was very visually just wow.
Right? How like they would tell the stories from different perspectives, and there were certain colors attached to different characters.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. And, House of Flying Daggers is another really good one from that kind of era.
Yes, that one's also very good. I agree. Yeah. So CJ, Bolo Yun was in Enter the Dragon. He was Han's right-hand muscle man.
That just reminds me, this is my moment to tell everybody how much I love Bloodsport. It's one of the greatest films of all time. So
yeah. Van Damme was somebody you see had skills too.
Oh yeah.
And he tweaked his acting a bit too as well. So
we finished the list yet?
No. Sorry, we're talking about stuff you weren't even born yet. I'm sorry. All right, so you know what? We're gonna finish the back issue list. Here we go. Ready? All right, here we go, Jay. Harley Quinn's Villain of the Year #1 from 2020.
30 exclusive variant, and we have the one for $20.
Nathan Zerdy is a homie of mine. He came into Huntsville for our local con, came up to the shop to do a nice visit. Super cool dude. Gave us a nice Harley print, did a remark on it for the shop. Super cool dude, y'all. You got to support Zerdy. He's good people.
Name drop. All right. So then we have Robin Volume 3, number 1, wraparound cover from 2021. First full flat line, and we got that one for $5.
Great book. Great book. Josh Williamson, friend of the show.
That's double name drop. All right. Next up, we got New Teen Titans Volume 2, number 1 from 1984. And we got that for $8. Then we have cursor. I lost my cursor. Now. Go. All right. So then Ultimate Fallout number 4, facsimile edition from 2021, reprints first appearance of Miles Morales, and we got this one for $10. Oh, there it is. Lost my cursor for a second. Oh. All right. Then we got Edge of the Spider-Verse number 2, facsimile edition. Reprints first appearance of Spider-Woman, Gwen Stacy, Earth 65. And we got this one for $10. Then we got Marvel Tales number 275 from 1993. Reprints Amazing Spider-Man number 261. Ron Lim cover. And we have that one for $5.
Love that cover.
All right. So then we have Marvel Team Up number 39, Spider-Man and the Human Torch. And we've got this one for $10. All right. So then we have Spider-Man Deadpool number 1, 7th print from 2016. And this is the rare 7th print, and we have one for $25. All right, then we got Hawkeye Limited Series number 1 through 4 from 1983, the complete set, all 4 books. All right, you got it, Preston. All right, all 4 books for $20, so $5 a copy. All right, then we got Fanboy Lot of 2, number 2 and number 5 from 1999. Sergio Aragones art. Number 2 is Green Lantern Volume 2. Number 1, 2, 3 homage. And number 5 is it's Batman number 1 homage. Yeah, that's a little confusing. All right, so we have the 2-book set for $5. Can't get no cheaper than this, people.
These are great books too. If you guys do not have these in your collection, start here because this is some good stuff.
All right, then we got Blood Syndicate number 1 from 1993, newsstand edition. Dwayne McDuffie writer, and we've got the one for $5. Then we have Batman Day Special Edition number 1, Harley Quinn from 2017. Batman Dark Knight Returns number 1, homage. And we've got the one for $5. Then we have 52-week number 23 from 2006, first appearance of Osiris, and we've got that one for $5. All right, Preston, you know what? Let's do a Rex cap right now.
Rex cap.
That's Jay. And we're going to do a full Rex cap. Here we go. All right. So, as always, we started with a 10-pack reader set. $40 worth of comics for $5. They're 10 random Dynamite titles. Then we have Return of Wolverine number 1, CSA exclusive Virgin variant, dual signed by Charles Soule and Patty Granoff. Probably the cheapest you're ever going to see this. We have dual signed book for $29.99. Then we have Silver Surfer Rebirth #1, Dan Jurgens variant, signed by Dan Jurgens. Suggested retail $49.99. We have it for $19.68. Then we have Venom #21, Legacy #8, 186, signed in silver by Donny Cates. Suggested retail of $69.99. It is #2 with only 140 signed, and we have it for $34.99. Then we have Future State Dark Detective #2, signed by Joshua Williamson. #6 of only 30 signed. Suggested retail $49.99, and we have it for $27. Then we have Spawn #1, 30th anniversary edition, signed with Batman Spawn cover sketch by our buddy Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $89.99. We have the one available for $69. Then we have the Mighty Thor #1, signed with Thor versus Kang cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariella Nicieza. Suggested retail $149.99. We got this one for $50. Then we have Captain America #695, signed with Hulk versus Captain America and Bucky cover sketch. Little Steranko homage there by Joe Del Beato and Mariella Nicieza. Suggested retail of $199.99. We have the one available for $120. Then we did Superior Spider-Man #27, signed with Miles Morales, Spidey cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariella Nicieza. Suggested retail of $119.99. And we have the one for $75. Then we had Fantastic Four #1 and Planet Hulk #1, signed connecting cover sketches of Hulk versus the Thing by Joe Del Beato and Mariella Nicieza. Suggested retail of $199.99, and we've got this one for $100. Then we did Avengers Annual #8 from 1978. We got that for $12. Then we had Moon Knight #9 from 1981. Frank Miller cover. And we got that one for $12. Then we have Moon Knight #11 from 1981. Bill Sienkiewicz cover. And we have this one for $10. Then we got Mark Spector, Moon Knight #18 from 1990, newsstand edition. It is the Noose cover, and we have that one for $6. Then we have Marvel Age #91 from 1990, Thanos cover, and we've got this one for $5. Then we had Marvel Superheroes #1 from 1966. And we have this one for $20. Then we had Deathlock #1. Sorry, Ed, we're running out of time, so I got to go quick. 1990 Prestige format, first appearance of second Deathlock, Michael Collins. We got this one for $7. Then we had Harley Quinn's Villain of the Year #1 from 2020, Snurdy exclusive variant, and we have the one for $20. Then we've got Robin Volume 3 #1 from 2021, wraparound cover, first full flat line. Got that for $5. And we have new Teen Titans Volume 2 #1 from 1984. And we have that for $8. Then we had Ultimate Fallout #4 facsimile from 2021. Reprints, first appearance Miles Morales. And we have that one for $10. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Ed Weird. I am so used to it. Then Edge of the Spider-Verse #2 facsimile edition. Reprints first appearance of Spider-Woman, Gwen Stacy, Earth 65, and we have that one available for $10. And we've got Marvel Tales #275 from 1993. reprints Amazing Spider-Man numbers 261, Ron Lim cover, and we've got that one for $5. Then we got Spider-Man Deadpool number 1. This is the rare 7th print from 2016. We got this one for $25. Then we had Hawkeye Limited Series number 1 through 4 from 1983, complete set. And we have all 4 books for $20. Then we've got Fanboy Lot of 2, number 2 and number 5 from 1999, Sergio Aragonés art. And we have both books for $5. That's $2.50 a copy, people. Then we had Blood Syndicate number 1 from 1993, newsstand edition, Dwayne McDuffie, writer. And we got the one for $5. Thanks, Lyle. Be safe, buddy, out there. All right. Then we had Batman Day Special, number 1, Harley Quinn from 2017. Batman The Dark Knight Returns, number 1, homage. And we have that for $5. Then we've got 52-week number 23 from 2006, first appearance of Osiris. And we got that for $5. Black Adam on the cover. All right. So there you go. There was the full Rex Cap. Hey, what's on tonight?
Well, we got the movie review tonight is for a anime film called A Silent Voice, which was actually really, really good, emotional, heartfelt, very touching. It's a really good movie, so we're going to be talking about that tonight on PCP Movie Night. A Silent
Very cool. Very cool. All right, and then we'll be back on Wednesday from 6 to 8 Eastern. And if you get a chance, we'll be Amy and I will be on with our buddy Bueller on Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern. And of course, not this Friday though, but normally on Fridays at noon, Robbie and I tackle a topic of the day. But this Friday he is going to Charlotte. So you should have a great time there. I hope you have a blast.
I will. I'll keep you all posted.
So, you know who wasn't here tonight? John Spilios. Wonder if he's going to take a ride up and meet you in Charlotte.
No, but I had a good conversation with him yesterday. He has some family in town that he's reconnecting with. So
gotcha. Not a problem. So he's probably busy dealing with family and not here with us tonight. Don't understand what he's thinking, that man. But other than that, as always, we appreciate you guys, all the viewers out there, the new ones, our regulars. This doesn't happen without you. Love the conversation. As you can see, we fall off the rails on a regular basis. And so what makes it fun. So in 2 weeks, we'll have another debate, me and Robbie. That gives Ezra Miller plenty of time to mess something up. So we may have the topic of the day. Again, I want to tell my buddy Robbie, please make sure as you're obtaining consent about the sniffing to videotape that, because I can't wait to see that one, bro.
Okay.
Thank you, Jay, for pushing the buttons in the back. All right. I'll see everybody Wednesday. Robbie, I'll talk to you when you get back. Have a safe trip, bro.
Oh, thank you, man. It's going to be fun. Y'all have a good week.
Well, at least it's air conditioning in here. So
always look on the bright
everyone.
Side. Good night, everybody.
What's that? What'd you say, Rob?
I said always look on the bright side. At least you got AC.
I try to. All right. Peace, everyone. Stay safe.
Night.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.